Hey guys, welcome to Pages with Sidra. Today we are going to start chapter 577 of I Have 90 Billion Licking Gold Coins. If you haven't watched the previous chapters, make sure to check them out on my channel. Now, without any delay, let's dive into the chapter. In this world, when decision makers mess up, it's always the ordinary people who end up suffering. As European nations one after another announced their recognition of the dark web, the domino effect spread like wildfire. Russia, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Thailand, Myanmar, the Philippines, Australia, Brazil, India, Canada, Poland. One by one, they all issued official statements recognizing the dark web and accepting dark coin as a legitimate digital currency. And just like that, electricity returned. Water systems were restored. Internet services stabilized. The chaos ended instantly, as this shadowy storm swept across the globe. Even the mighty United States finally cracked. They lowered their proud heads and acknowledged the dark web. A certain American official appeared on live TV, delivering a passionate, self-righteous statement. He spoke eloquently about the positive societal impact of the dark web, how it could contribute to law enforcement, technological progress, and even social development. But of course, he said nothing about the fact that America had previously ordered a full-scale cyber attack on the dark web using tens of thousands of elite hackers. No apology. No admission. Instead, they flipped the script. Suddenly, the dark web was an asset to global progress. Suddenly, it was worthy of recognition. Watching this unfold, Qin Yuan couldn't help but scoff. Shameless. Utterly shameless. Since when did a black market website become a pillar of justice? But then again, in this world, if your fist is big enough, even black can be twisted into white. Impressive, Qin Yuan muttered. Truly, impressive. As the announcement aired, American netizens exploded. You traitors. Have you forgotten what you said just a few days ago? Shame on you. Once again, protests flooded the streets of America. Meanwhile, as the world recognized the dark web, a new challenge quietly emerged. After all, it had always been a dark organization. Now that it was acknowledged by the mainstream, wouldn't it lose its essence? Some things are never meant to be in the light. Some deals are never meant to be legal. Qin Yuan understood this perfectly, and so he made a decision. On top of the existing dark web, he would launch a new system. Skynet. From now on, there would be two platforms. Skynet, the legal, public-facing system for legitimate operations. Dark web, the secretive, underground platform for everything else. One in the light, one in the dark. Completely independent. But let's be real. The true reason every country accepted the dark web? It was simple. Dark coin. After the chaos of Dark Day, countries began tallying up the economic damage. An American economist estimated the U.S. may have suffered over $10 trillion in direct and indirect losses. Global losses? Easily more than that. Major tech corporations were crippled. The global economy set back a full year. But the dark web came out as a legend. And dark coin? Its value began to skyrocket. A new announcement appeared. From today forward, the dark web will be rebranded as Skynet. Only users holding 100,000 dark coin or more, bronze tier, will be allowed access to the true dark web. People were stunned. Wait, what? 100,000 coins. At 2,500 yuan each, that's 250 million. Just to enter a website? Is it really worth it? One voice replied. Absolutely worth it. Inside the real dark web, you can buy super soldier serum. You can even hire AI services from the dark web itself. Do you realize how insane that is? This AI crushed America. If you want to steal your competitors' tech blueprints, easy. Spend a few billion on the dark web. Save yourself hundreds of billions in R&D. Damn, you're right. Dark coin isn't just valuable, it's priceless. Not long after, a new mission popped up in Skynet's main hall. Seeking dark coin. Will pay 1.2x the official rate. Honest deal. Fair price. Anyone with extra dark coin, let's trade. People were shocked. Someone was already willing to pay above market price for dark coin? Let's do the math. 1 coin equals 2,500 yuan. 100 coins equals 250,000 yuan. Sell at 1.2x? That's 300,000 yuan. A clean 50,000 yuan profit. Nearly an average person's entire annual salary. Dad, send me 200K, quick. I'll pay you back 210K. What? That's your wedding fund. You can't spend it recklessly. But the younger generation? They didn't care. They smelled opportunity. Into them, this was a surefire win. Besides, on the dark web, there's zero risk of scams. What kind of lunatic would dare try to scam people under the dark web's nose? That would be suicide. That day, the skies were clear. The sun was warm. The breeze gentle. Qin Yuan sat by a peaceful lake, wearing sunglasses and a straw hat, fishing. Nearby, Tina Morgan watched him quietly, her heart oddly unsettled by how calm he looked. Just then, her phone rang. An urgent call from the U.S. Duchess, Mr. Morgan is asking, should Morgan Bank oppose the global circulation of dark coin? Should we refuse to acknowledge it as legal currency? Tina's eyes narrowed. Who told you to say that? Tell little Morgan this. Starting today, Morgan Bank is to fully cooperate with the dark web. Our online banking security system handed over to them completely. Duchess, are you sure? You dare question my order? No, Duchess. I understand. Chapter 980. Oh my God. This is the true power of a god-tier mastermind. Without ever leaving his home, he stirs chaos across the entire world. The dark web rises to the top, becoming an untouchable, unstoppable force. And with dark coin now officially recognized by global banks, the era of global mobile payments is about to begin. The world is shrinking into a true global village. Borders, barriers, all gone. For the past few weeks, Tina Morgan hadn't been following the international news. She'd been working quietly at the Qin family manor, helping Qin Yuan handle small affairs. But everything changed the moment she received a call from the Morgan family. In an instant, her heart shuddered. Behind all the calm and peace of the past days, the entire world had been spinning on the fingertips of one man. That man was now calmly lounging in the garden, a faint, unreadable smile on his handsome face. No one could guess what he was truly thinking, but every move he made shook the world to its core. Smoke Chief? That's him. Eastern Medicine Grandmaster? Also him. Dark Web's founder? Still him. The one controlling the artificial intelligence? Him again. Exactly how many identities did he have? Mysterious, unfathomable, overwhelmingly powerful. The most terrifying part? He didn't need to raise his voice or show off. His presence alone carried unimaginable weight. And this kind of strategist, calm, wise, commanding from the shadows, was exactly the type of man that made Tina Morgan's heart race uncontrollably. She didn't even remember how many years it had been since she last felt this way. As people grow older, the chances of falling in love shrink. Why? Because once you've seen the soaring dragon, how can you be moved by the earthworm? For someone like Tina Morgan, a woman over 300 years old, experienced and powerful, even she found herself unable to resist the presence of Qin Yuan. He wasn't just worthy of respect. He was the only man in the world who could awaken her lost girlhood heart. Tina Morgan, favorability +10. Current favorability, 60 points. Boss, did you need me for something? Tina asked respectfully. Qin Yuan didn't beat around the bush. Tina, you've heard about the dark web, right? Yes, it's quite obvious, actually. After the AI attacked global internet systems, all the world's major tech corporations took a hit, except for yours. In fact, your apps gained over 1 billion new users. It's hard not to suspect a connection between Smoke Chief and the dark web. Tina nodded. At this point, global leaders might still be too stunned to connect the dots. But once they came to their senses, Qin Yuan would instantly become the prime suspect. I won't hide it anymore, Qin said calmly. Yes, I am the creator of the dark web. Tina, I want to ask you a favor. He removed his sunglasses and looked straight into her eyes. I'm listening, boss. Now that the dark web has gone through its overhaul, its operations are expanding rapidly. While the AI is incredibly smart, it can't handle everything on its own. So I want to assign a real-world manager. And after thinking it through, you are the best candidate. If you accept, you will become the official head of the dark web, and I'll grant you level 2 permissions to manage the AI. Tina froze on the spot, completely stunned. She was speechless. Back when the Skull Society tried to steal the AI's source code, they paid a terrible price and still failed. Now, just by working as his assistant for a month, Qin Yuan was handing her the keys to this nuclear-level weapon? Unreal. Mind-blowing. This was an AI powerful enough to crush the entire global internet. And he was offering her the right to control it? Boss, are you sure about this? Aren't you afraid I might be a spy from the Skull Society? Qin Yuan's eyes didn't flinch. I trust you. Just 4 words. But they landed like thunder in her heart. That was his style. If he chose to trust someone, he'd do it completely. If he chose not to, he'd never give them a chance. Come with me, he said simply. Yes, boss. Soon, they arrived at a small private server room. Nothing flashy. Just a computer, monitor, webcam, fingerprint, and retina scanners. No fancy tech. Just simplicity. Come out, Wang Kai. Yes, master. What are your orders? A moment later, a young girl's virtual avatar popped out of the monitor. Open the dark web control panel. As you wish. In seconds, a new screen loaded, showing the full back end of the dark web, real-time transaction data, system logs, and more. But the most shocking detail, the total funds under management, over 10 trillion US dollars. Apparently, Wang Kai had been investing, likely in the stock market again. Even Qin Yuan was slightly surprised, but his face remained calm. Boss, all this money. If you take over the dark web, this $10 trillion will be under your control. You can use it however you like. What? Tina Morgan's soul nearly left her body. Yes, she came from a banking empire. Yes, she'd handled hundreds of billions. But 10 trillion US dollars? That was still beyond imagination. And Qin Yuan was just handing it to her? Without hesitation? This was more than trust. It was practically a kingdom. Tina Morgan, favorability plus 10. Tina Morgan, favorability plus 10. Current favorability, 80 points. Boss, do I really deserve this? I've only worked for you for a month. 1 month is more than enough to understand a person. Maybe to others, you're 385 years old, wise, mature. But in my eyes, you're still just a pure-hearted little girl. That line hit her harder than anything. Tina Morgan's body shook. Her eyes widened in disbelief. Even her soul trembled. Her age was her deepest secret. She had never told anyone. But somehow Qin Yuan knew. Exactly. Down to the number? How? Could he see through life itself? Was he reading her soul? My God. Oh my God. That's it for today's chapter recap. If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest manga, manhwa, and manhwa recaps. Got thoughts on today's chapter? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on the story. Also, if you know other fans who were reading this manhwa but stopped because it got axed, share this video with them. The more support we get, the more motivation we'll have to keep making these videos. See you in the next one. Until then, keep turning the pages.